Shadow System CR920P, first rounds, 200 round break-in. We'll see how this first magazine runs here. I'll have a first impressions video later. I'm just gonna pump these down range here real quick, see if it fails. Got a chamber, 13 round mag. I do not like shooting with gloves on, but it's too cold out here. Stovepipe. CR920P. Bitch. 10 yards, exactly 10 yards. Shadow System CR920P. I'm gonna put them right in the middle. I got a clean target right there. I actually put little stickers over a previous group that I just did, but outside of that, the target is clean. So 3 or 5 rounds, whichever. I am over 200 round break-in period, so we'll see how it goes from here. I had a couple malfunctions so far on the way to 200. One of them I believe was grip related, and then the other 3 I believe were early on within the first, I don't remember, 60, 70 rounds. To check previous video footage, which I definitely was the gun, not me. Anyways, let's put a little group here, or as best I can anyways, 10 yards. I'm at 10 yards. Gonna put the whole mag in here. Had a couple. One of them was a flyer. It actually wasn't a whole mag. I forgot I didn't have that fully reloaded because I was shooting groups before. I did dip one of them, which you'll see on this circle right here. You can see right here. There's one up here and one there. These are stickers from earlier when I put a group right here. And then as you can see, I dropped one of them right down here. And then the rest of them, sorry, it's just kind of awkward. You can see right there, the rest of them went right through there. So 2 and 1 down here. And then the rest through here. So I don't remember how many shots that was. I don't know if that was 7 or something. I'll recount them later. No big. I'm over 200 rounds. Shadow System here. This is not an accuracy test. I'm just gonna. I got 5 mags loaded. One has 10, and I believe all the other 4 have 13. So it's gonna be 50 rounds. I'm just gonna put them down fairly quick here. I'm not worried about accuracy. See if we can get it to malfunction. Small sample size, but we are over the 200 round mark, but not at 3. Still low 2s, probably about 210, 220. Anyway, here we go. Do not have a holster yet for this gun. Kind of winging it here along. Put Mag 3. Mag 4. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this in 60-second video. Definitely not. Maybe I'll speed it up. Last mag, if I can find it in my pocket. All right, see if we can get it to malfunction here. 50+ rounds. No failures. That puts us well over 260, 270, getting close to 3. Just wanted to put that on screen here. Shadow System CR920P, nice little pistol so far. Today I'm doing a quick video on the Shadow System CR920P right here. I do go over a few points in the range footage video that you would have watched before I come back to the house here. So I'm not going to go over everything because I don't want to waste anyone's time. This is just a first impressions video. I do have a little over 300 rounds, probably around, I don't know, let's say in the neighborhood of 320 rounds or so put through the firearm. I did have a total of 5 malfunctions. They were all failure to eject, stovepipes. I'm sure there's at least one of them, the very first one on the first mag, which you'll see in the which you've already would have seen, excuse me, in the initial range footage, and I'm going to put before this video before I wrap it up here for the first impression. Total of 5 malfunctions total. The first 4 were early on within the first several mags, and it's well known the Shadow System says 200 round break-in period due to tighter tolerances in the firearm, and those first 4 were all within the first few mags. Now later on, kind of like around maybe somewhere between 150, maybe a little bit before 200, I did have one more. But I was just kind of pushing the gun pretty hard, and I was kind of shooting it off quick, just trying to make her malfunction. And I did get a stovepipe. That was still before 200 rounds, and that could have been grip related. I might have been biting off a little bit more than I can chew, having fun with it, because this gun actually, for a micro compact, is a fun gun to shoot. And largely I would put it up to the comp on it. Makes it actually an enjoyable firearm to actually shoot at the range, and I was kind of having fun with it and just kind of, breaking her in, especially knowing that they, Shadow System's very transparent on the break-in period. So definitely 4 real early on, 1 kind of later on, still before 200, which I believe was me, not the gun, when I got that last one. Probably didn't quite have a good enough hold on it there, and probably just kind of caused it to slow down just enough for the empty shell casing to not eject fully. But just to be upfront, I had a total of 5. 1 I do believe was user induced, and then 4 were real early on, first several mags, well within the first 100, well within the first 100 rounds. So I just wanted to put that out there first. The gun's a blast to shoot. Uh, I mean, it's a beautiful firearm. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the looks is one of the original things that drove me to it, was just the appearance of the firearm. I mean, I think Shadow System makes some of the best looking guns on the market. I never this is empty, by the way, for those that care. I never was aesthetically, I don't really care for Glocks. I know this is basically a Glock clone, I guess is what some people would call it. But this is actually a nice looking firearm, which I don't find a lot of Glocks to be aesthetically pleasing firearms. However, you know, they are very reliable and out of the box even. And these ones here definitely have tighter tolerances. They're not going to have that same reliability. Many of them out of the box that your Glocks would have. But after a break-in period with the firearm, you should be good to go. And and it should be reliable there on out. I used to have an MR920 a while back, and it was the same thing. Rough first 100 rounds, and then once you get over it a little while, you get beyond that 200 round, 3, 4, 5, 6, and upwards. The gun just runs flawlessly. But I remember my MR920 being a nightmare within the first 100 rounds. This gun actually was a lot better. It was a lot more less annoying when it came to failures. But like I said, it's known that they have a break-in period. So you want to break these in before you carry them, and you should be breaking in and testing your firearms before you take them and carry them with you anyways, which is what you would be doing with a firearm like this. So anyways, just to get back to the firearm real quick, don't want to waste your time. We have serrations both on the sides, the back, the front here. You got some nice little cuts here, and you got serrations right here along the top. I believe all these CR920P models are all the elite, so they come with all the serrations. Very sexy looking gun. I do have a Hall Sun EPS carry on it, which looks good. Not flagging myself there, but very nice looking gun. Looks good on top. Sits on there real nice. You got very aggressive texture here. When I'm rapid firing this, it can kind of, it can be very, very minor, but you can get a little bit of, abrasion right there in your hand a little bit if you're really going through it quick a little bit. It is pretty rough. Like, it definitely is kind of a sandpaper like feel to it. You got nice texture back here. I like it though. So you got nice texture in the back, the side, and the front. You got some on the magazine here. You got your little bit of texture right here as well, where you would rest your thumb if you do thumbs forward, of course. Same thing for this side as well. Made in the USA, in Texas. And it has a decent sized trigger guard. So even with gloves on, I was able to get my finger in there pretty well. Here's the mag release. The mag release is actually pretty big, but it is swappable. So that's usually an issue. Sometimes I run in with swappable mag releases. Is I have to break my grip, because if I don't, you're gonna interrupt this back here, and it's not gonna eject the way you want it to. Fumbling there a little bit. So I have to break my grip. It might depend on your hands and the way you hold the gun and everything. But when you do drop the mag, typically, at least me personally, I have to break my grip to drop it, which is probably normal for most people when they're shooting smaller guns anyway. So I think that's neither here or there. So Outside of that, I like all those things. The trigger is usually an important part of many guns. The trigger's decent. It's not great, but I have a little over 300. It feels a little better than out of the box. It almost felt kind of, it was rough out of the box, but it actually is better now. I can show it to you here real quick. I did use my lineman gauge. I'm not going to do it on video here, but my lineman gauge, I was getting between 4.5 and 5 pounds, fairly consistent when testing this trigger, which I think is what they advertise on their website, which would make sense. But I'm going to show it to you here real quick. So you have your little trigger safety here. And, we do have a somewhat curved trigger here, so that's your safety there once you start to decompress it. So we're going to come back here. That's kind of your wall, but it's not really, it's not a solid wall. Then you're going to have a little bit of creep, right? Decent amount of creep, and then it breaks right there. Okay. And then I already let it out a little bit. I'll do it again real quick. And you get a pretty nice reset. And it does kick it out. It will kick your finger out. So I'll show it to you here real quick again. That's kind of your wall, but not a super defined wall, but that's your wall. And then you got your creep, right? And then it breaks. And it's a clean break when it does break. And let me get this a little closer so you can see. And right there. So it's tactile and audible when you do get it. And I expect that trigger to smooth that a little bit too as I march my way, to 1,000 here. So Shadow System CR920P, great firearm so far. Over 200 rounds. Since I've been over 200 round, I haven't had a failure. We'll see if that keeps up. Oh, two other things here before I call this first impression video is that you might already be familiar, but the Shadow Systems, you do run a spacer with their optic. I don't know if you can see that. If you see right here, there's the front spacer for the EPS, and this did actually, this is snug. Like it's really in there snug, and I haven't had no issue with anything coming loose. I have some Loctite in there, obviously. I put my little marks there on the bottom of the screws. Initially, I did have a stripped screw, which I ended up having to get someone to help me get out because the screw head actually ended up snapping off the post, which a gunsmith took it out for me. $10 too, can't complain. But and the other thing I just want to show you here real quick, this is important too, I'm just kind of going over the basics here, is that this is the 13 round. They all say 10, but these ones right here, they hold 13, so that's what you're going to get. And with my hand size, and I usually wear large gloves, just to give you an idea, but I do get a full, pretty much all 3 fingers I do get on there. So just to show you that right there, that's kind of where my finger rests, okay, with the 13 rounder. Now there is the flush here real quick. I did not put the little pinky extension on there yet. I don't know if I will. I may leave it alone. But as you can see, I get these 2 fingers, and I'm not really, if you have large hands, you're probably not going to get that on there. I can kind of get a piece of it, but honestly, I just kind of like hold it pretty tight with just these 2 right here. So I would imagine with the pinky extension though, it would probably help with that. So if you put the pinky extension on, you might be able to get half a finger on there. Depending on the size of your hands, you might be able to get more. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna do a 1,000 round review. It might take a while. I have a lot of guns that I'm going through, but if this is something you want to consider carrying, I wouldn't let the comp it doesn't add a lot of size to the firearm. And actually here, I'll show you real quick. I got a couple guns here. I just want to show you some length and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, and size. So this is a Taurus GX4 XL, okay? So let me see if I can kind of get these lined up to where you can kind of see them. There. It might throw you off a little bit because the shadow system has that beaver tail there, okay? So as you see right here, so that's roughly, not roughly about how much longer this is than a Taurus GX4 XL. Right there, roughly, right around there. So not much difference, and this is far less snappy than this is. Show you another one here real quick. A lot of you might be familiar with the MC9 from Canik. This is kind of a little bit of a chunky gun here too. So let me see if I can get this lined up. I gotta look over the camera, and that's roughly about the length difference. Is pretty much just a comp right there. And one more here real quick. And Old Faithful here, my main carry, Shield Plus. Let me see if I get this lined up here pretty good. And Shield Plus is did I have that lined up right? Yeah, it looks about right. And you can see the Shield Plus right there. So a little bit shorter than the other ones, but I haven't started carrying this, so I can't speak on it, but I would imagine that little bit of difference from the comp, which makes a pleasurable, more pleasurable shooting experience, is worth it. I did get my holster in today, but however, I'm going to run a couple more 100 rounds through it before I want to go and start carrying it. So far, from 200 to about 320, 325 roughly, no failures. But I definitely want to at least try to get past 500 before I test out how it feels carrying it. But it's not a large gun, so I don't expect there'll be too much of a change from firearms that I normally carry. I actually do not carry the GX4 for... It has its own video. I don't trust that yet to carry it. So, but anyway, I'll leave it at that. And if there's any significant changes or updates on my way to 1,000, I'll put out a video. If there's any questions that anyone may have, that's something I might have just kind of went over, just let me know. You do have your 1-slot rail right here, by the way. Just let me know in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, and thanks for watching, and have a good day.